guys, this is Mary. Welcome back to Cardz TV. Today we're going to make card number 3 in the 12 Days of Christmas card series. We'll be using elegant edges and Scandinavian Christmas cards. Our papers will come from this Fancy Pants 6x6 paper pad called Merry Little Christmas. And our sentiment will come from this Cardz TV stamp set called Very Merry. And we'll use Sending Love at Christmas. So let's get started. We're going to start off with a red card base. And on top of that, we're going to put this cute little kind of ivory and red striped. And this is from that Fancy Pants paper pad. And this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'll grab my ATG gun and get this adhered to the front. Now I'm going to set this aside for a minute, and I've got another piece of the red cardstock, and this was cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then on top of that, I've got another piece of paper from the Fancy Pants 6x6 paper pad, and I'm going to adhere that on top of that, and this was cut at 3 3/4 by 5. I love all this red and green. It's so pretty. So I'm going to get this adhered to the red mat, and then this will all be adhered to the front of the card. Now I want to put a border across the center of my card, right about there. So I cut a strip of the red cardstock at 5/8 of an inch by 5 inches, and a piece of the striped at 1/2 an inch by 5 inches, and I've adhered these together, and I'm going to adhere that right there in the center. Next, we'll cut a mat from the Elegant Edges cartridge, and this will be for our image to go on. And this mat is on page 27. This is called Design 1. I cut the oblong out of some ivory, and I ran this through the Paper Studio embossing folder called Quarter Foil. I think that's so pretty, and it kind of matches this background paper. But I cut this mat at 3 1/2 inches, and I wanted a shadow, so I took some more of the red, and I've also cut this at 3 1/2 inches, and that's on page 27. I'm going to adhere these together and then center these right there on that center border. And then we'll be ready to add our image from the Scandinavian Cardz cartridge. I decided I wanted this popped up from the card base, so I've got this on 1 thickness of foam tape. And I'll go ahead and take the backing off and get that centered on the front. That is so pretty. I love that together. Now, the Scandinavian Christmas Cardz cartridge does not have a manual with it. All you get is the pictures on the back of the images, and then you use your overlay. So I decided I wanted to do the dove, which you see right there. There it is on the front as well. And there are 3 cuts for the dove, and they're lined up right there on your overlay. And here's this dove. I cut the background out of green because, as you can see, it's holding a little branch. The next layer was red, and that's because it has 3 little holes in the tail part for the red to show through, and then the top layer is white. And I cut the dove at 2 inches, layered it all together, and it makes a little indentation for the eye, but it doesn't actually cut it out. So I just took a little black brad and put in there, and I've got this on 1 thickness of foam tape, and I'm going to center that dove right there. I think that's so pretty, and we're not going to put a sentiment on the front. I think that's beautiful just like it is. So I'm going to get my dove adhered down. We'll come back and do the inside of our card. Now for the inside of the card, I've cut 3 mats. I've got a striped mat, which is 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. I've got another red mat, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then another piece of this pretty red and green, and this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to layer those together, just keeping it simple and making it look a little similar to the front. And I cut another one of those mats from the Elegant Edges cartridge. This, once again, is page 27, and I cut the shadow and the ivory mat at 3.5. And I used some Memento Tuxedo Black ink and the Very Merry stamp set, and I've stamped Sending Love at Christmas. And I'm going to add that right there, and that leaves you plenty of room to write your name and any other sentiment that you'd like to. I'm going to get this adhered down. We'll come back and take a final look at this card number 3 in the 12 Days of Christmas card series. Here's my finished card, and I think it turned out so pretty. Once again, I've used some traditional colors, red and green with some ivory, and here's the inside. And I decided not to pop this up because I'll be writing on this and it would be hard to write on it if it was popped up. So there we go. Thank you so much for coming by and spending some time with me today. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you're inspired to get your Christmas card started. This is November, guys, so we've got to get a move on, don't we? I'll see you again soon with another card. Bye now.